Hello everyone, welcome to the online class of Narganj High School and College. How are you? Hope that you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. You know, I am Shuman Chandra Saha, Assistant Teacher English, Narganj High School and College. Today, I have come to you with a new topic, and that is right form of verbs. So, our today's topic is right form of verbs. Learning objectives. What is the outcome of this lesson? If you watch this class carefully, you will be able to know about some basic rules of right form of verbs. Let's start the class. Rule 1. Our first rule is about modal auxiliaries. We all know that the modal auxiliaries are shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, must, to. Actually, there are two rules for modal auxiliary. That is, we will write principal verb 1 after modal auxiliaries, or we will write principal verb 3 after modal auxiliaries. So now the question is, when will we write principal verb 1 after modal auxiliaries? We will write principal verb 1 after modal auxiliaries if the sentence is in active mood, and we will write principal verb 3 when the sentence is in passive mood. Now again the question is, how will we understand that this sentence is in active mood or this sentence is in passive mood? If the sentence starts with a subject, then it is called active voice, and if a sentence starts with an object, then it is called passive voice. If the sentence is in passive mood, the modal auxiliary is followed by be. Look at the first example. The first example is he can did the work. In this sentence, can is modal auxiliary, did is principal verb. Now our question is, what will we write here? The verb 1 of did is do and verb 3 of did is done. Now the question is, which form will we write here? Actually, it totally depends on sentence. If the sentence is in active mood, then we will write verb 1, that means do. Read the example. He can did the work. Who can did the work? He. Yes, here he is subject. So this sentence is in active mood. As this sentence is in active mood, we will write principal verb 1 of did. So the answer of this sentence is he can do the work. Look at the second example. The second example is it can be did. Here can is modal auxiliary, did is principal verb. Now the question is, which form of did will we write here? Will we write here do or will we write here done? Look at the example. It can be done. Here this sentence has started with it. It is object here. It is not subject here. So this sentence is in passive mood. We know if the sentence is in passive mood, then we will write principal verb 3 of, then we will write principal verb 3. So the principal verb 3 of did is done. So the answer of this sentence is it can be done. I hope that you have understood rule 1. I am again repeating rule 1. Rule 1 is about modal auxiliaries. Which verbs are called modal auxiliaries? The modal auxiliaries verbs are shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, must, to. After modal auxiliaries, either we will write verb 1 or we will write verb 3. If the sentence is in active mood, then we will write verb 1. And if the sentence is in passive mood, then we will write verb 3. Our first example, look at the first example. Our first example is he can did the work. I have written here he can do the work. I have written principal verb 1 of did because this sentence is in active mood. And our second example is it can be did. I have written here done. Why have I written here done? Because this sentence is in passive mood and this sentence has started with an object. So this sentence is in passive mood. So I have written here done. Okay. Rule 2. Rule 2 is about have, has, had, get, got, to be, having. If you find these verbs in a sentence, then you will write principal verb 3 of the main verb. Look at the first example. The first example is the thief ran away having seen me. Here our clue point is having. We know that if we find having in a sentence, then we have to write principal verb 3 of the main verb. So what is the principal verb 3 of see? The principal verb 3 of see is seen. So the answer of this sentence is the thief ran away having seen me. Look at the second example. The second example is I got my bed prepared. Here our clue word is got. What do we know? We know that if we find got in a sentence, then we have to write principal verb 3 of the main verb. Here main verb is prepare. So we have to write verb 3 of prepare. The verb 3 of prepare is prepared. So the answer of this sentence is I got my bed prepared. Students, I think you have also understood rule 2. It is a very important rule. I am again repeating this rule. This rule is about have, has, had, get, got, to be, having. If you find these verbs in a sentence, you have to write principal verb 3 of the main verb. Rule 3. Rule 3 is about it is high time, it is time, wish or fancy. If you find it is high time, it is time, subject plus wish, subject plus fancy, then you will have to write principal verb 2 of the main verb. If there is another clause after this clause, look at the first example. It is high time we study attentively. In this sentence, it is high time is a clause. We study attentively is another clause. Okay. What do we know? We know that if there is another clause after it is high time or it is time or subject plus wish, subject plus fancy, then we will write principal verb 2 of that clause. Here we study attentively. Here verb is study. So we have to write verb 2 of study. The verb 2 of study is studied. So the answer of this sentence is, it is high time we studied attentively. Our next example is, I fancy I fly among the stars. It is a clause, I fancy. I fly among the stars, it is another clause. So our rule says us that if there is a clause after I fancy, then we have to write principal verb 2 of that clause. Here fly is verb, so we have to write verb 2 of fly. What is the verb 2 of fly? Flew. So the answer of this statement is, I fancy I flew among the stars. Rule 4. Rule 4 is about while. Actually, there are two rules for while. If you find a verb after while, then you have to add ing with verb. But if you find a subject after while, then you have to transform the clause into past continuous tense. That means you have to write was, were plus principal verb 1 plus ing with the principal verb. Look at the example. The example is, while walk in the garden, a snake beat him. Here, this sentence has started with while. We know there are two rules for while. Here, we find walk after while. That means there is a direct verb after while. If there is a direct verb after while, we have to add ing with verb. So the answer of this sentence is, while walking in the garden, a snake beat him. Look at the second example. While he walked in the garden, a snake beat him. Here we find a subject after while. We know if there is a subject after while, we have to transform this sentence into past continuous tense. That means we have to write was, were after subject, and we have to add ing with principal verb. So the answer of this sentence is, while he was walking in the garden, a snake beat him. I think you have understood this rule. Rule 4, actually this rule will be rule 5. Rule 5 is about preposition. We know except to, we have to add ing with principal verb after preposition. Look at the first example. The first example is, I don't believe in overload my stomach. Here in is preposition and overload is principal verb. We know that after preposition except to, we have to add ing with principal verb. So the answer of this sentence is, I don't believe in overloading my stomach. Look at this example. I could not live without help the poor. Here without is preposition. So we have to add ing with principal verb. Why? Because after preposition we have to add ing with principal verb. So the answer of this sentence is I could not live without helping the poor. Rule 6. Rule 6 is about would you mind, can't help, could not help, mind, would. If you find these words in a sentence, then you have to add ing to principal verb 1. Look at the example. I cannot help do the work. Here, cannot help is our clue word. We know after cannot help we have to add ing with principal verb 1. So the answer of the sentence is I cannot help doing the work. Our next example is he never mind have an ice cream. Here our clue word is mind. We know after mind we have to add ing with principal verb 1. So the answer of this sentence is he never mind having an ice cream. Students, I think you have understood rule 6. Rule 6 is if you find would you mind, can't help, could not help, mind, would in a sentence, and if there is a verb after this word, you have to add ing with that verb. Okay, students. No more today. I think you have understood the rules that I have discussed today. Thank you all for watching this class. Goodbye.